Welcome back to the Wild and Scenic Film Festival right here in Nevada City, Grass Valley, California. It's the 23rd annual, and we have been inspired by activism and all the things in between. I'm your host, Kimberly Ewing, for this segment, and it's my pleasure to invite Todd from the Wildlife Protection Solutions. Welcome, Todd.
Wow, thanks for having me.
It's fun to see you in action. He's over right now at KVMR, the radio station, and the apparatus that you have in your hand. Tell us about what you're doing over there today and for the whole weekend's festival.
So we are an international wildlife conservation nonprofit, and we've brought a number of our wildlife films essentially from around the world, from many of our different projects to basically showcase for the festival here.
And it's been amazing. It's free. There is no time limit. It's just first come, first serve. I went yesterday and snuck in between two interviews, and you guys are all so loving and comfortable and welcoming. Your team is rad that's here. The one I got to see was where you're having to relocate giraffes in Africa. Tell me a little bit about why are you having to move giraffes in that story?
So in that particular story, it was filmed in South Africa, and they actually have a lot of wildlife fences for their reserves, and that kind of inhibits a lot of migratory patterns for animals to essentially breed with other groups, and then that can kind of isolate their genetics. So our great wildlife veterinarian partners on the ground decided to kind of invite us and film what it was like to move giraffe to different locations to help the genetic diversity of the whole area.
That's wonderful. And when I watched the film, and by the way, when you're watching with the apparatus on, you can look down, you can look up, you're in the story.
Yeah.
The story was compelling too, because it looked like you had a lot of people while you're having to move the giraffes. You have everybody like, ready, go, and everybody just like lays down on the giraffe's neck so that you can like, are you anesthetizing them, or what are you doing? You're calming them.
Giraffes in particular require essentially dozens of people to translocate, because in that particular story, you have to anesthetize them essentially from a helicopter, right?
Wow.
So the wildlife vet anesthetizes them with a dart gun from a helicopter, and then as soon as the giraffe gets kind of sleepy, will start to stumble, that's when the ground teams kick in, and they essentially, kind of like Star Wars, will wrap the legs of the giraffe and kind of have it collapse onto the ground. And then, like you were saying, the whole team then crashes on top of the head to keep it stable, because they immediately have to set the antidote, basically, because giraffes are very particular in their biology when they're laying on the ground.
Right.
So they have to be woken up immediately. And so once that happens, you're essentially dealing with a wild, awake giraffe at that stage that they have to then move on a truck to move to a different wildlife reserve.
And when you're in the film, because it is all around you, I felt very small.
Giraffes are very big.
They're very big.
Yes.
And so I don't think, unless someone has actually seen a giraffe, I don't think a person would know how incredibly large and strong they are. Mm-hmm. So I understand now, being in the scene and being in the film. What is your role? You are the program director. What is your role for this, for your ventures with that?
So, as I was saying before, we are an international wildlife conservation nonprofit,
right,
and we work with a lot of really great partners, hundreds at this stage, across Africa, Indonesia, Central America, South America. And we're all very tech focused. So we have a program that helps provide security for free to wildlife reserves around the world.
Okay.
And through these great partnerships, we're allowed to essentially film in virtual reality and bring that back to people here in the States or elsewhere, zoos, aquariums, schools, film festivals, to see what it's like for the heroes on the ground, essentially, to take care of these animals and essentially keep them from going extinct.
Of course, and it's so important, especially now more than ever, with what's happening. Mm-hmm. A tech question: how are these films filmed? Are they different than a normal?
We have very specialized 360-degree cameras that film everything. We like to say if the camera can see you, if you can see the camera can see you. So you're in the picture.
Wow. I did notice when I was watching that everywhere I looked, it was like I could see that everybody that was on film, like you said, it's just all around you. What a submersive experience for a person to view it. Are you critical of your work anyway when you get into the films, or you're like, no, we did this, we nailed this?
Oh, I mean, as a filmmaker, you're always critical of your work. I don't think that ever stops, but it's been very heartening to see other people see it, and then that kind of gives you a sense of completion.
Well, and I want people to know this because you tour all around to share your films. It's Wildlife Protection Solutions, and this is Todd with his apparatus. What did we call that thing, by the way?
It's a virtual reality headset.
It's a headset, virtual reality headset. Well, thank you, Todd, for coming in. Let's give it up for Todd. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
And keep on doing the good work you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And we'll be back.